some big news about the WWE Network that's going to affect the Fastlane pay-per-view. Now, it was originally reported in the Wrestling Observer that the Peacock Network would not have search engine optimization and would not have the ability to start a pay-per-view from the beginning once it's live. And that has caused an outroar from fans who have obviously dealt with these issues in the past. Now, let me just read some of the updates from the Observer. The line in the current issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter about features like rewind, fast forward, or the ability to start live programming at the beginning if you're logged in after the show starts not being available right now and possibly never being available is correct about right now. But the part about them possibly never being available is not the case, according to sources at Peacock. The features mentioned are not in play right now, but changes are expected to be made as time goes by. Those at Peacock say that they anticipate making live pause restart controls and scrub bar preview available before SummerSlam. Regarding search and entity-based discovery is on the product roadmap, and they are anticipating offering search log by the name of the performer by September. So a lot there. And basically what this is saying is if on Sunday or at WrestleMania you want to start the pay-per-view late and if you start it late, you're not going to be able to go back to the beginning. You're not going to be able to rewind, and you're not going to be able to do any of that stuff. You're basically going to be forced to watch it from the beginning. And they are also saying that there's going to be no ability to search. So if you want to search Hulk Hogan matches on Peacock, you're not going to be able to do that at least until September. And the same goes for that rewind feature that they were talking about, and that's looking more likely that that's going to be figured out by SummerSlam, which is their alleged date. Now, the thing is, I trust Peacock and NBC in their timelines much more than I ever trusted WWE, because with WWE they would say that these things are expected by this date, and sometimes those will never happen, right? But with NBC, I think they have a clear idea of what their parameters are and where they are. Now, the way this is going to affect fans, I think, over the next few months is going to be very frustrating. I signed up for the WWE Network on Peacock, and I found that there were a few problems. Like, obviously, I couldn't search for any of my favorite superstars, and that seems to be true. Like, literally nothing comes up. You could type in the biggest names in wrestling, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, typed in Chris Jericho, found nothing. So they're going to be dealing with that, and I don't think that's so much of a problem. I think the bigger problem is the live events and not being able to start from the beginning once you start late, because that's been one of the most popular features of the WWE Network. You had the ability, rather, to kind of control what you see when you see it and kind of control your watching. And in the streaming age, that's very important, and that's a very important service for these streaming platforms to provide. By not providing that, though, from the get-go, it does raise major concerns. And especially if you're WWE, if you're Peacock, you're trying to launch this big network initiative, it might take a hit in business. Now, obviously, since Peacock is the exclusive way to stream pay-per-views and stream WrestleMania, you're going to end up doing a large amount of business anyway. But I think you're going to see a lot of frustration from fans. And remember, back in 2014, when the original WWE Network launched, there were a lot of similar problems. We all remember that technical issue bar that would show up when the network was overbooked, or there were too many people trying to go in at once. We all remember the problems in the streaming of live events. We all remember the problems in fast forwarding and starting from the beginning. You expect to see a lot of those, I think, as this goes by. Whenever you switch these platforms, especially in the quick manner that they did, because this was kind of a deal that, the rumblings were there, but I don't think the talks got serious until maybe even weeks before the deal happened, and you kind of need months to flush this kind of thing out. And they wanted to make sure that they were ready to go on Peacock by WrestleMania so they could get big numbers, big subscribers, and all that. So this is going to be frustrating, quite frankly, for fans. If you're a fan of WWE, if you plan to watch WrestleMania, my advice to you would be to tune in at the time they say. I believe it's 7 o'clock. Tune in at 7 and hope for the best. because odds are you're not going to be able to rewind. I don't know what's going to happen once the pay-per-view goes off the air, if you're going to be immediately be able to watch it back. There doesn't seem to be that live channel that WWE Network used to have, at least from what I checked. They didn't have that. It just seems to be playing whatever is there or whatever they suggest for you. So I don't know. That might actually be a feature that would help them. But regardless, expect some growing pains and expect some frustration over the next few months. But I do also expect Peacock to, by SummerSlam, by September, have this figured out. Because, like I said, NBC, much more reliable company than WWE. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.